Yeah. What's up, party people? What's up, party people? Marcus Conte reporting early in the morning here in New York City. Back in the saddle. I'm back in the saddle. I'm back in the saddle. Yeah. I'm back in the saddle. What's up? What's up? What's up, Chris Conwell? What's up, Einstein and Robin Hood? Cytoplasmic reticulum and Nathan Purvis. What's up, guys? What's up? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Back in the house, man. Back in the house. Just back from Nevada. Las Vegas, Nevada, man. How about that shit, man? You watch that shit? I was on the ground in Las Vegas, Nevada, covering the Nevada caucus. And without further ado, tonight is the South Carolina debate. The South Carolina debate where allegedly Joe Biden is leading amongst blacks. I ain't buying it. So today I'm going to tell you the truth about what's going on in the stock market, in case you haven't noticed. Right? So you're watching mainstream media, watching fake news, and they're telling you that the markets are crashing. It has something to do with coronavirus. Now, in some small way, it may have something to do with the coronavirus, but that's not what rocked the markets. Hey, Bernie Sanders on Saturday wins the Nevada caucus, and mainstream media is chirping like crazy on Sunday, saying that Bernie Sanders is the presumptive nominee of the Democratic Party. And what does Bernie Sanders want to do? He wants to eliminate the insurance companies, the medical insurance companies. He wants to tax big tech and big banks. So if Bernie Sanders is at the top of the Democratic ticket, we know full well why the markets are going to tank. Why they tanked. 1,000 points is not a big deal. So I made the prediction a while ago. And I'm going to step through the numbers for you, and then we'll talk about some of the latest polling, what's going to happen tonight in the debate, who's on the stage and such. But without further ado, how we doing in the chat, man? How we doing in the chat? Are we loud and clear? Are we loud and clear? How many people we got? Now let's wait some people to come in. We're going to wait for some people to come in. Hit the like button while you're waiting. Hit the like button while you're waiting. And give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Looks like a little quiet there. Looks a little quiet. Am I coming through? Am I coming through? Am I loud and clear? Am I loud and clear? Am I loud and clear? I don't see any commentary. What's going on, man? Are we dead? Are we dead? Are we dead? How we doing? In this altered universe. In this altered universe. Are we shadow banned? Why is there only 8 people in the house? I guess we're getting fucked, right? I guess we're getting fucked. Anybody out there? Anybody out there? Is there anybody? Oh, there you guys go. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. A little panicky over the shadow banning stuff. I've been getting shadow banned lately. So let's dive right in. So on POW, a while ago I made a prediction, and I said that the Dow Jones Industrial Average would correct itself down to about 18,000, roughly 18,000. It would go down to the pre-existing levels, the levels prior to Donald Trump taking office. So here's where we are right now. This is 2008. See this number all the way down here? All the way down on the bottom. You see this diagonal line that goes straight up? That's what's called a trend line. And if you trend it from 2018 and you continue the line all the way up, well into the future, you see that there is a significant trend line that things will bounce off of once touched. And once they break through, they collapse. So right now, the Dow is at 2,790. Very high, right? So you got a 1,000-point drop. It's not the end of the world. But why? Why did it top out? Why? It's not because of the coronavirus. I'm telling you, it's because of the threat that Bernie Sanders may just become the president of the United States. He's going to take over the Democratic ticket, and that's deadly for the corporate scum. It's a deal breaker. Hold on a second. What's going on here? What's going on? Why can't I see the top of my chart? Why can't I see my chart? I guess we got to just bring this down. Oh, there it is. So that's my prediction. When this is the run from Donald Trump right here, about 1800. Dow 1800. It went all the way almost up to 30,000. And I predicted that it would come right back down to pre-existing levels, give all of the gains back when Bernie Sanders gets nominated. Right? So that's my prediction. And so far, we're doing pretty good. So far, are we doing pretty good, or am I way off? Am I way off in my prediction? As of now, I am. But the evidence is in the numbers. So is it coronavirus that caused the Dow? Nonetheless, the Dow is down 1,000. Right now, we're up a fraction because it's now open in New York. It's 10 a.m. So we're up very little. But there's the plunge from yesterday. It went from 28,009 to as low as 28.1. I don't know. It shows it was about 1,081 drop yesterday. So is it coronavirus? No. Coronavirus cases surging has potential to be global pandemic. That's pretty scary, right? That's a pretty scary idea. The deadly new coronavirus continued its spread beyond China on Monday, with cases surging rapidly in Italy, Iran, and South Korea. Yeah, it's true. It's becoming pandemic. But that's not the reason why the market crashed. I'm telling you. I'm going to give you the numbers. All right. So this is the New York Post reporting. Why? What does that... it's harder to travel? Okay, all right, I get that. It's a little harder to travel. Trade gets a little hit. But that's not the real reason. All right? The number of people sickened by the disease has now topped 79,000 globally. The past few weeks has demonstrated just how quickly a new virus can spread around the world and cause widespread fear and disruption. Is Wall Street covering their ass? This is Wall Street beginning to liquidate because they know that the politics of tomorrow is about to change. The shit is about to change. Bernie Sanders won by 26 points in Nevada, and Super Tuesday is only 7 days away. If Sanders clinches, that shit is over, man. You're going to tax the corporations. The insurance companies are what? Out of business. Out of business. Not stressed. Not they're going to lose a little profits. They're out of business. All right? Screaming from the bully pulpit, the White House. Screaming from the Oval Office. We demand universal single-payer health care for all. Healthcare is a human right. Tax the corporations. That's what you're going to hear. And you're going to keep hearing it and keep hearing it. And what does that do? It causes the markets to correct. The past few weeks, it's not corona, and I'll show you why. Ooh, I got a notification. I'm glad people are getting notifications. Finally, the coronavirus is causing it to fall. Haven't you been watching? I have been watching Russian Bot. I have been watching, and I'm telling you the truth now because I have a Wall Street background. And I can tell you that they're fucking your ass right now. Right? That's what's happening. They're telling you coronavirus, but really, it's the threat of socialism. Bernie socialist, the socialist, the commie socialist, is going to tax you. That's what it's all about. I have been watching, and now that you're here, you can educate yourself. You can educate yourself a little better, right? Instead of sucking up the mainstream media garbage. Does the virus have pandemic potential? Absolutely. All right. So the point is that coronavirus is very scary and very bad and screaming around the country, around the world, although it only has a 5% mortality rate. It is pretty devastating and interesting and will continue to grow. And the numbers it's in Italy, it's all over the place, right? It's in South Korea. We have cases here in the U.S., all over Europe, right? So coronavirus is real, but that's not what caused it. That's not what caused it. Now, so there's the plunge. And here's the reason why, right? Let's look at sectors. Just look at sectors. Just humor me for a second, right? Let's humor. Now, if healthcare, right? Just think for a second. If coronavirus is a healthcare issue, right? And right, the pharmaceutical companies and the insurance, the medical industrial complex, the medical guys, right? The people that come up with cures and vaccines and pills and injections and all that shit. Their prices, wouldn't you think in the case of a pandemic where people need health care, where they need to get to medications and all that, that those stocks would go up in value? Of course they would. But the evidence shows the opposite. The evidence shows the opposite. Look, Johnson & Johnson down 2%. United Health Group Incorporated down 7.8%. Merck down 1%. Novus, Pfizer down 3%. Here's the Bristol Myers. Now, shouldn't these companies be going up? Shouldn't the companies be going up? No. Yes, they should, but they're not. They're going the opposite way. They're going down. So the evidence is in the numbers. Healthcare, why? Because Bernie Sanders wants universal single-payer healthcare. And Wall Street knows that they better dump these, they better start shorting the shit out of these stocks at the top because they're going to get crushed out of business, right? Because Bernie Sanders is going to trounce Trump very soon. That's coming. Well, let's just talk about the effect that Sanders is having on the market. Now, you might say, oh, look, Bernie Sanders is a socialist. He's crashing the markets. No, he's crashing sectors of the market, which is good because we want the markets to correct. We don't want it to be an ongoing bubble where these billionaires and millionaires are just cashing in and living off the fat of the market, where everybody else is starving, where only less than 5% of the population is getting anything out of it. Let's give it back to the people. So here's all the tech companies, Geld Sciences. I don't know why that one's up. They must have done something different. Health corporations, Cigna down 7%. Right? All of these companies are getting crushed. Right? These are just the leaders of that sector. Now, you may not believe that, but let's look at technology. Right? Now, technology. Well, see, the numbers are all corrected from yesterday, but I wanted to, if you would have seen yesterday, these are live numbers. These numbers were all down. Apple was down like 7%, right? The tech companies, I don't know, I can't back up because now the markets are open. I didn't know the charts were live. But anyway, tech got crushed yesterday. Let's go back to healthcare and see if we can see something. See, they all corrected now. But that's the opening market. You saw the initial downslide was mostly in healthcare, which doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense. Why are healthcare stocks down? They should be up, right? Instead, they're down. And technology, why are they down? Why did technology lead the crash? Because Bernie Sanders is screaming from the rooftop that Amazon didn't pay $35 billion in tax every year that they were supposed to, and they stashed their money in the Cayman Islands, and Bernie Sanders is going to keep screaming. However they do it, however Sanders gets it done is not the point, but it will get done if he keeps screaming about it. People say, Sanders has no specifics. You ask him, how are you going to pay for it? How you going to pay for it? How you going to pay for it? How you going to pay for it, Bernie? Hey, Bernie. How you going to pay for it, Bernie? How you going to pay for it? How you going to pay for it, Bernie? How you going to pay for it? Free stuff! Free stuff! How you going to pay for it, Bernie? Free stuff! How you gonna pay for it, Bernie? Free stuff. It's all free stuff, right? All free. Right? It's all bullshit, right? So how you gonna pay for it, Bernie? Right? We keep telling you how we're gonna pay for it. This is how we're going to pay for it. We're going to eliminate we're going to eliminate the stranglehold of the pharmaceuticals and the medical industrial complex. That's how we're going to pay for it. What the hell don't you understand about how we're going to pay for it? It's not fucking free stuff. It's not free stuff. How are you going to pay for it? All the estimations say that the medical expense would be 70 trillion, 80 trillion, 20 trillion. Just they're throwing numbers around. We keep telling you that the current expense, the current trajectory of $20 trillion over 10 years is pretty, I guess that's what we're on now. But what we're going to do is we're going to cut it in half because we're going to get the vultures out of your pocket. All right, so that's how we pay for it. That's how we pay for the free stuff. So again, Dow plunges 1,000 points on coronavirus fears. 3.5 drop in worst than 2 years. All right, where's the evidence? Where's the evidence that it has anything to do with coronavirus? I just gave you the evidence that and the reason why the market corrected, because you've got an insurgent in the Democratic Party that's going to surgically remove the cancer. That's why it's going down. Stocks fell sharply on Monday as the number of coronavirus cases outside China surged, stroking fears of a prolonged global economic slowdown from the virus spreading. There was nothing new this weekend, really, that points to a reason for a sudden correction. This has been going on for a while. We knew that it was going to be a pandemic. You didn't need a crystal ball. There was nothing newsable other than a couple of extra cases in Italy. That wasn't the big news. If you follow the big news of the weekend, it was the man, the myth, the legend, Sanders surging past the field and taking the lead as the presumptive nominee of the Democratic Party. What great times we're living in. God damn, for all the people who believed that Bernie Sanders was going to be the next president of the United States, this is for you. This is for you. Look, the markets even believe it. The Wall Street people are shorting the markets at the top. So you better grab your assets and get the hell fucking out of the market, because that shit is going to plunge. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed 1,031.61 points lower, 3.5%. Blah blah blah. S&P followed, Nasdaq Composite followed. It was the Dow's biggest point percentage drop. This is the financial. This is CNBC reporting. Right, we know the numbers, but why? Where is your assumption that it has anything whatsoever to do with the new news on coronavirus? Right, you'd be hard-pressed to find out. The second largest company in the world is completely shut down. People aren't totally pricing that in. The second largest economy in the world is completely shut down. They're talking about China. Is it completely shut down? It's been shut down for fucking 2-3 months already. Right. Adding a 10 to 15% correction in stocks may be starting. Okay, so coronavirus, maybe, yeah. He also said some parts of the market, particularly large caps tech stocks, appear to be over-owned. It seems like there's much more to come. What does big tech corporations have to do with coronavirus? That people are dying so they're not going to buy Apple phones? It doesn't have anything to do with it. It has more to do with what I'm telling you. Listen to me, man. Listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. Coronavirus impacted names led the way lower. Airline stocks, Delta, American were down 6% and 5.5%. Shares of casino operators in Las Vegas, Sands and Wines Resort dropped 5.2%. MGM down 5.4%. What the hell do casino? I mean, Chinese people come over and they like to gamble, but they don't. They could go anywhere and gamble. They don't fucking come to Las Vegas. One has nothing to do with the other. Are people traveling less? I don't know. I was on a plane yesterday, and every fucking seat was taken. You're sitting like sardines on the plane. So that's United was packed. The airline was packed. All right. So that's bullshit right there. Why are they going down? Because because they're going to get taxed. They're going to get taxed. I don't know what the why the airlines went down. I don't really have an answer for that. But these are the big drops. There's, again, it's 1,000 points in a market that's valued at 30,000 or 28,000 isn't really significant at this point, right? There's the let's look. See, there's the trend line, right? Let's look at it again. See we're at all the way at the top, and this little blip is really not a crash. It's a 1,000 point drop in one day, but why? Why? That's why. All right, because the guy, the old man, won. All right, see right there. So my prediction is that as Sanders clinches the nomination, the market is gonna trend down to this trend line and then break it, and then we'll probably see by, right when he takes office, you're going to see a severe correction, because if he's the nominee, right, everyone knows that Sanders beats Trump. They know that, right, because the Democrats outnumber the Republicans across the country, and all the independents come off the sidelines and they carry Sanders through. I'll show you, if you don't believe me, I'll show you the map, and we'll break it down. So that's the reason, right? Here's investors. We'll just keep trying to figure out if it's coronavirus causing the markets to crash, causing the correction. What's going on what's going on in the chat? Don't be a dick. Thanks for covering Nevada. Thank you. Thanks for watching. That was fun, man. I learned a lot about the how the caucus works. It was nice talking to people. I would have liked to talk to more people at the Bernie rally, but I kind of just, I don't know, I choked. It was hard to get into. Then it was hard to get the credentials. I finally got them, and they were very. It was one of the strangest Bernie rallies I had ever been to, and I've been to a lot of them, and I just had these like hippies follow me around, and it just felt weird. It felt like a nightclub. I don't know. Maybe a lot of tweakers in the audience. A lot of people tweaking in that fucking state, man, with that new marijuana shit. I was fucking vaping the shit out of the marijuana. I had fucking THC vape. There's a lot of that going on, it seems. I guess. But there was something strange about it. I wish I would have asked more people. I think I got a lot of good interviews, a lot of good insight at the vegan taco stand. That was good on debate night. And then the Trump rally was pretty fun. That was cool. There's a lot of good memories. I'll start to bring them up as we go along. And seeing the caucus, firsthand. Bernie has everything to do with it. Don't worry, Bernie. The middle class will cover it for you. Oh, Chris Conwell, he hates Bernie Sanders in the comments. Chris hates Bernie. Fucking hates Bernie. Makes Bernie. He dreams about how Bernie's gonna get crushed by Trump. No, I'm telling you, man. Trump loses. Trump versus Sanders is what the country deserves. It's what both parties created over 4 decades ago. No, America deserves Bernie Sanders, and they're going to get Bernie Sanders, and they're going to get a lot more than they expected. Absolutely. I am brilliant. This is a brilliant channel. Greetings from Northern Ireland. Greetings, SST Johnston. Thank you. We're live from New York City, live like a mofo. So let's continue. Is the stock market plunging because of coronavirus? The answer is no. Apple loses key support level amid near 7%. Why the fuck is Apple diving? Because Bernie Sanders is telling Bezos, you're going to fucking pay. Mofo, you're going to pay. Right? You're ripping off the American people. You're ripping off all kinds of people. Right? Now you're going to pay. We want our $35 billion a year for the last 10 years. Give it to us. You owe the American people. And that's just one company of the many. The one company, the one big tech company of the 10,000 publicly traded companies on the NASDAQ and the S&P. One of them rips us off for $35 billion. Can you imagine? This is where the money is, you goddamn idiots. Goddamn Trump, fucking chimpanzee, motherfucker. Get your heads out of your asses. This is where the money is. How are you going to pay for it? How are you going to pay for it, Bernie? Whisper. How you gonna pay for it? Hey, Bernie. Say it with me, Trump people. How you gonna pay for it? How you gonna pay for it, Bernie? Hey, Bernie. How you gonna pay for it? Hey, Bernie. How you gonna pay for it? I hate to rub it in your face, but you know what I mean? Like, this is shit. This is like elementary school. This is math 101. Anybody who's ever opened up Investors Business Daily or the Wall Street Journal or any of these publications or Barron's on Saturday. I did it for years. Well, not that many years, but a lot of years. Enough years to know that the markets are getting rocked and they're telling you one thing. Oh, yes, be fearful of Corona, right? But meanwhile, they're shorting the shit out of health companies. They don't want you to know the real reason. They want you to be confused because when they rip you off, when they shaft you, then you get caught holding the bag. That's how the investments work. So they got to get out of this shit, right? They got to get out of all these big tech companies and that are going to get taxed, and the corporations that the medical industrial complex is going to get crushed. And watch also, you'll start to see the military stocks, Boeing, fucking all those companies, right? They're gonna tank too. So again, we're searching for evidence that the coronavirus has something to do with the Dow getting crushed. Apple stock crumbles 7%. Okay, Apple was among the day's worst stocks on the Dow. This week, key earnings by Baidu and NetEase, who cares? Advanced Microsystems are all coming in. All right, so coronavirus news. Italy, South Korea impacted. The coronavirus continues to spread outside of China. South Korea raised its threat level to red alert, the highest national threat level. Confirmed cases jumped from 763 up 161 over the past 24 hours. Outside of Asia, Italy has been hotbed for the virus. The country confirmed the fifth death from the corona virus and said it has more than 200 confirmed cases since Friday. Great. All right. So, coronavirus. Yeah. Okay. So, what does that have to do with the markets falling? Show me the correlation. Nike is down. Oh, there's less people to buy sneakers. It doesn't. Amid semiconductor stocks were sharply lower early Monday. Longtime leaders of advanced micro devices down 8%, down 6%. Amid stocks, AMD stock is testing its 50-day moving average line, right? So they're starting to come down, right? So there is no correlation in those numbers that link it to coronavirus. But let's look further. Tonight is the South Carolina debate, and 7 Democratic candidates are going to jockey for the nomination. And one of those candidates is already the front runner. And one of those candidates is singing a different tune. He's a bird of a different feather, singing about taxing the corporations and giving the money back to the goddamn people, to give health care for all and stop having the insurance companies rip us off and charge us, and the pharmaceuticals charge us 10 times the price for pills and drugs and stuff. There's one of these are not like the other. One of these things is not like the other. Right? How are you going to pay for it, Bernie? We're showing you how we're going to pay for it. We're showing you the corporations that are going to fess up. We want our money back. How are you going to pay for it? How are you going to pay for it? That's all you hear on mainstream media. How are you going to pay for it? Yeah, but he doesn't have a plan to pay for it. Look, you don't need an exact plan. You need a theory. You need a theory, a working theory to work into. And a proper working theory says that if you eliminate the guy standing in between you and what you need, jacking up the price by 10 times, that's an obvious one. You eliminate the middleman. Take him out of the equation. Why is the Democratic establishment terrified of Bernie Sanders? Because that's who pays. Those organizations pay off the politicians, not Sanders, but all of the rest. So, yes, you could make the argument that Bernie Sanders would lose the current House and Senate Democratic seats, but what's going to replace? Again, the whole you got to take things in context. If Bernie Sanders is out in front after he gets the nomination in July, and he's the clear front runner, he's the nominee. He's the Democratic nominee. Everything changes, right? The scenario changes, and he starts to, he starts to threaten Trump, right? So in context, I forgot what I was going to say, but in context, Bernie Sanders is now leading. I lost my train of thought on that. Sorry. So what's going on in the chats? We have no moderators, so be good to each other. Be good. Bezos will say "fuck you, IRS" and "fuck Bernie." Well, that is the fact, and you're right, Chris Conwell. You're right, and that they're going to say "screw you, Bernie," and unless Bernie Sanders institutes the proper AG, and this is the swamp we're really talking about. Now you know who the swamp is. The swamp is not James Comey and Andrew McCabe and all the other right-wing punditry targets. Although these people are evil, the Hillary Clintons of the world, the Bill Clintons of the world, these people are disgusting individuals, no doubt. But they are on the take. They take the money. They take the money from somebody. Who do they take the money from? They take the money from the corporations, because that's who has all the money, the banks. The money. The money influences them. And in this one case, Bernie Sanders is the only candidate not really influenced by it, and there's a 40-year track record. Just go to YouTube and watch the videos. Don't ask me to show you it. Go on YouTube and look back into the 80s, into the 90s, Bernie Sanders saying the same thing. Oligarchy out of control. And now we have it on steroids. And now we have a chance to turn the boat around. So there's some fake poll. I don't see North Carolina. Well, let's just look at the South Carolina polls. The fake news media has Joe Biden, who has come in fourth, fifth, and fifth. Right? He's getting fourth, fifth, and second in the elections. Has not won a single election, but in South Carolina they've got him up by 5 points. It's fake. But Bernie Sanders is going to crush the competition. Maryland is up as well. Bernie Sanders with a 6-point lead. South Carolina, Biden by 15. I don't believe it. I think Sanders is going to win. I think he's going to win. There is a chance because it's a primary and they could cheat. And you got James Clyburn, whatever the fuck his name is, the big black guy, the congressman there, who I don't know. I don't trust him. I don't trust the dirty Democrats. If they're going to pull if they're going to finagle the results, they're going to do it here. But there's a lot of people watching. You see what happened in Nevada when a lot of people are watching? Bernie Sanders wins by 26 points. It's an unbelievable win. So also, Sanders, University of Texas poll with Sanders 20, Biden 20 in Texas. I saw polls where Bernie Sanders is killing him in Texas. Virginia, Sanders by 9 over Trump. What else? So here we got Biden. Okay, so going into this South Carolina thing tonight, right? Going into the debate and then the election on Saturday, the fake polls are trying to push Biden, who can't win, who is totally unelectable, who is the disgusting, guy who stands for nothing, and Bernie Sanders is surging across the board. Right? So if Sanders gets a fair shake on Saturday in terms of how they're going to rig the numbers, this is over, right? Because all of the demographics that Sanders was accused of not being able to win, saying blacks, for example, blacks don't like Bernie. Look back at 2016, Hillary Clinton slaughtered Bernie Sanders in the South. That is true, but in context, nobody knew who Bernie Sanders was. Bernie Sanders was the unknown, weird, senator from Vermont, ice cream, Ben and Jerry's guy from Vermont. Nobody knew who he was. They had heard of him. They had seen his, some of his speeches. And, There's a lot of trolls, but I know we attract all the trolls. That's good. That's good. We attract the trolls. So, but the point is that you can't accurately say that Hillary Clinton beats Bernie Sanders because Hillary Clinton gets more black support. As time went on, we saw who Bernie Sanders was, and he started to destroy Hillary Clinton all across the country. So the point is that now is a different time. We're in a different era. If this was 2016 all over and nobody knew who Bernie Sanders was, Joe Biden would be the easy winner. But that's not the case. In context, Bernie Sanders would have, if Hillary Clinton was in the race, Bernie Sanders would crush Hillary Clinton today. So that's today. That's today. That was then. This is now. Pennsylvania poll: Bernie Sanders up by 5. Let's look at the map. Yeah. So here's Super Tuesday map. Let's look at this for a second. So there is a lot of Deep South on Tuesday. Now, if Bernie Sanders wins the Deep South, if he pulls off a massive victory on Super Tuesday, 7 days away, 8 days away, on March 3rd, if Bernie Sanders wins, he's going to win these 3 right here, up in the right-hand corner. He's going to win Maine. He's going to win Vermont. He might win Massachusetts, but you have you've got Elizabeth Warren as the senator from Massachusetts, so she could pull off. She could show strong. If Bernie beats her in Massachusetts, she should just, don't even say you're leaving. Just stop participating. Go away if you can't win. Now the other difficulty here is in Minnesota, where Amy Klobuchar is the senator, and she could, people could pull, fake some numbers over there for her, or she could win, whatever. But that's not the real issue. California. Oh, California, I love you. California. Coming home to California, where 415 delegates exist. All right, he's going to definitely win California. He's on schedule to win Texas, big states, Vermont, of course, possibly Virginia, possibly North Carolina. Now, I don't know, Colorado, Utah. I would imagine that if the same thing that happened in Nevada, my guess is that it's going to happen in Utah and it's going to happen in Colorado. People are going to come out for Bernie. They're only coming out for Bernie. Remember that. In the blue states, they're only coming out for Bernie. They're not coming out for anybody else. Pete Buttigieg is a shit sandwich. He's a garbage candidate. And I showed you in one of those, in one of my videos, that Pete Buttigieg actually, he was telling a very telling tale that he told his people to not, that they were not allowed to talk to the media. I caught that kid at the caucus. I said, hey, can I ask you a couple of questions? And he said, no, I can't talk to you because you're press. I said, really? You were told to not talk to press? And he said, yeah, it's in the manual. So these people can't attract the crowd. Is the point. So here's Super Tuesday. Here's the problem in South Carolina. It's this guy right here. His name is James Clyburn. Former Vice President Joe Biden secured the critical endorsement of longtime South Carolina Democrat Congressman James Clyburn, leading up to the first Southern contest of the Democratic Party. All right. Now, this guy's a slave driver. This guy's a slave owner. He's gonna snap his whip on the backs of the blacks. The backs of the blacks. Right? And he's going to expect all the blacks to monolithically fall in line behind what some crusty old congressman from South Carolina has to say. Honestly, I don't think he has that kind of weight anymore, especially with black youth, because they're all going with Sanders. So that's the scare, this guy right here in South Carolina. Does he have weight enough to swing the election? I don't think so. All right. So tonight, let's just look at the debate. Let's look at the debate, and then we'll wrap this up. 7 Democratic candidates for president have qualified for Tuesday's debate in Charleston, South Carolina. All right. And who are those 7? That would be, of course, Sanders, Biden, Buttigieg, Klobuchar, Steyer, I believe, made it. Of course, Sanders. And who else? There's a couple other ones in there. So all seven, right? It's less time. So 8 p.m. to 10:15. So they're going to get 2 hours and 15 minutes, hosted by CBS. CBS. Maybe we'll go live afterwards. I don't know. It's a little late. It's a little late in New York. What else do we want to talk about?
Now, we know the Trump strategy. Try to win by attacking, distorting, dividing.
Ooh, a Mike
Mr.
Bloomberg
President,
commercial.
it won't work.
Newspapers report Bloomberg is the Democrat Trump fears most. As president, universal health care that lets people keep their coverage if they like it, a record on job creation, a doable plan to combat climate change.
I led a complex, diverse city through 9/11, and I have common sense plans to move America away from chaos to progress. I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
Wow, we got force-fed a Mike Bloomberg commercial. That was worth watching, right? So CBS News will be co-hosting a debate next year in Charleston. Come on, what the fuck am I looking at? I don't even know what I'm looking at over here. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore, man. So this is very important. The chart for Super Tuesday. Oh, so let's look forward. Let's look forward. This is Super Tuesday, right? So South Carolina comes on February 29, March 3rd. We got those states, the Alabama. We just looked at them all. Alabama, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Maine, Massachusetts, Minnesota. And I gave you my view on who's going to win. All right, then we go further down the road. March 10, we've got in there North Carolina, Washington. All right, Washington's going to go Bernie. Are you kidding me? Missouri could go Bernie. Michigan. See, Michigan is very important. We want to see what kind of enthusiasm Sanders has in Michigan, because Michigan is a swing state, right? Wisconsin and Michigan went red for Trump. And if Bernie Sanders takes these two back in the Democratic Party, game over, point game. These states right here are very, very important. How will Bernie Sanders do in Wisconsin, in Michigan, in Ohio, and Pennsylvania, and the rural parts of New York, not the city, because the city is rigged. But in the rural parts, all of this Rust Belt right here, this is the shit right here. Not this crap down here, the South. The South goes red no matter what. All right? Tennessee and Arkansas and Oklahoma and Alabama, they're not going to go. We don't give a shit about that to see Bernie Sanders win. Bernie Sanders has to win Washington, Oregon. He already won Nevada. That's right. California. Right? Texas. If he flips Texas, that's unbelievable. But he has to win the Rust Belt. He's going to win all the Northeast. Right? That's where the real fight is. The fight is in the Rust Belt. So we go back here and we look. When do we get any Rust Belt states? On March 10, we'll get Michigan. Okay. Washington. That's not a Rust Belt state. Where else do we get some? All right, and they Ohio March 17. So that's big too. Ohio, and another swing state to look at is Florida. How does Bernie Sanders how does he do in Florida? Does he crush the competition in Florida? Now these may be secondary. All of this may be secondary, because if Sanders gets a crushing lead amongst blacks in the South, it's game over. Because he's going to win. He wins over everybody else. He's got tremendous support in the Latino community. 30%, of the country is under 35. He's got all of those. He's got all the millennials. It's game over. But let's look more at the Rust Belt states. So we got to go all the way out to April 28 to get New York and Pennsylvania. So all the way out to April 28th, New York and Pennsylvania will happen. All right? But before that, we get Ohio, and we get, I don't know about, I guess Chicago, Illinois area will probably flip Bernie. Here's the point about it is, what's up, everybody? How we doing out there? How we doing, man? I'm dragging. I got to get my stride back, man. I'm getting my stride back. I just got off the plane, man. I'm tired, man. So So what's going on in the comments? Let's do a little talk. Got some trolls, man. Enjoy the trolls. That's trolls. This is Troll Central, man. Troll Central. Fucking people trolling for Trump. Who cares? Maybe it's Russians. Are you guys Russians? Are you Russian trolls? Are you Russian bots? So you mean was not coronavirus? No, it was not the coronavirus. Coronavirus did not cause the markets to crash. Great work in Nevada. Thank you. Bernie supporters are fools. Oh, Shane Lewis, you're back. Do I have to block you again? Don't be a dick or I'll block you. Don't be a dick or I'll block you. I'm going to block you. Now I'm going to time you out just because I can. I'm going to time you out, Shane Lewis, because you're you're just a troll. You just come here to spoo your bro, blah, 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 blah. Will Texas want open borders? Bernie Sanders doesn't stand for open borders. Stop watching Fox. Oregon. Oregon. How do you say Oregon? I don't fucking know. Because they hate Hillary. What else we got? Sanders can beat Trump, but it comes down to the anti-Trump versus pro-Trump vote. Sanders isn't that popular, but he isn't universally hated outside his support base either. We haven't even seen them campaign honestly yet. Trust the process. If Bernie Sanders landslides on Tuesday, the mainstream media, they're going to do, let's talk about kitchen sink. All right, what is the kitchen sink strategy? They tried the day before Nevada to say that that the Russians were helping Bernie Sanders. It was all over mainstream media. I mean, you talk about a laughable, it's so laughable at this point that because that Russia is partial to Bernie. It's like so ridiculous. What Russians? Where? Where's your evidence that Russia has any interest whatsoever in taking down Bernie Sanders? Florida is not going to go blue. It could. Illegal aliens are backfiring. Florida has, huge Latino population. Now they're going to try to say, well, Bernie Sanders, he's pro-Cuba. That's another smear you're hearing right now. That Bernie Sanders was sympathetic to Fidel Castro in one aspect. He called him a brutal dictator, and Castro is crazy, right? He sided with the Russians during the Cold War in the 60s. And we were looking, Bay of Pigs, we were looking down the barrel of a nuclear attack. But Sanders has said that Castro, he wanted to give, basic education to all people. And he said is that a bad thing? That's all he said, right, for the most part. Bernie Sanders is not a communist. Bernie Sanders is not a classic socialist. Bernie Sanders is a democratic socialist who wants a new deal for the United States, a new deal, like the New Deal, the FDR New Deal, where my grandparents and that generation boomed. Not the markets. Who gives a shit about the market? Does anybody know what the stock market was in the 1960s? Does anybody give a shit? Why are we relying on stocks? All right? Let's rely on how much money is in everybody's pocket. That's what really matters. That's the measure of wealth. How people's lives are, how you living. How are you living is really the shit. So, anyway. I gotta sneeze. I'm gonna sneeze. I don't want to sneeze. Woo! Sneezed. So, what else? Will Bloomberg flop again tonight? That's a good question. I think Bloomberg is not an idiot, and Bloomberg is not. He's, you know what it is. He's been out of the limelight. He's been out of the mayorship for 2 years already, 3 years, and you lose your chops. That's the problem. That he's not out on a campaign trail, and he's just spending his money for TV commercials. So can Bloomberg get his chops up from the last abysmal performance and outsmart the Democrats? I don't think so, because they're going to pile on him again. Every time he says something stupid, they're just going to pile on him. So I think Bloomberg is, for the most part, I think it's out of the running. I think he's out of the running. I don't see how he finds a path to the nomination. because half the if he's appointed at the convention through a brokered convention, it's over. The Democrats lose. Trump wins. Right? Anybody, if the Democrats try to pull off a brokered convention, and what was very revealing is that in the last debate, the candidates were asked point blank, all of them, do you think that the person who gets the most votes should win? Right? Hold on a second. And everybody except Bernie Sanders said no. Now think about that. The candidates, the democratically elected candidates who want to abolish the electoral college, are saying that the person who gets the most votes should not win, and quote, let the process play out. We have rules. Let the process play out. That means the people that are losing to Bernie right now are now lobbying for a brokered convention where the superdelegates would come in and overthrow the will of the people. That's who the Democratic Party is. Right? That's who these people are. Right? So that's it's very revealing. So anyway, what else didn't I cover? Did I cover everything? I just want to make sure I got everything in there. So watch for James Clyburn. Does he have any pull? Tonight at 8 p.m., fasten your seatbelts. Bernie Sanders is way out in front in all the major polls in California. He's got an 8-point lead in Nevada. They had him at a 13-point lead. He wound up winning by 26. California, Bernie by 7. North Carolina, Sanders by 4. Texas, Sanders by 3. Michigan, Sanders beats Trump by 5. What else? South Carolina. See, these are not even a few days ago they had. I just think that the polls are rigged in this sense. Anything that points to Biden winning is just false. Who are you interviewing? Who are you polling? I don't know. So, what's up, Tobacco Row? What's up? Bernie will get behind another candidate if that happens. Will Bernie get behind another candidate? Yeah, I mean, he says it and he will do it. And that is unfortunate that he will do that. But that is the process, and that I think he has to say that. If you're winning, look at it this way. Right? If you're winning something and you're the favorite and now you're the presumptive nominee and you're running away with something, wouldn't it be in your best interest to say, if I lose, if anybody should lose, I'll support the winner when he's the winner? So really what he's doing is in a sense, by saying I'll support everybody, I'll support anybody who wins, he's actually saying, when you lose, support me, is what I think it is. Right? Now, again, I know, here come the trolls, just say it. He bowed a knee to Hillary. He bowed a knee to Hillary. Bernie bowed to Hillary. Bernie, you bowed to Hillary. Hey, Bernie. Hey, Bernie. Hey, Bernie, you bowed to Hillary. Hey, Bernie, why'd you bow to Hillary? Ha, ha, ha. Hey, Bernie. Hey, Bernie. How you gonna pay for it, Bernie? How you gonna pay for it, Bernie? Hey, Bernie, you bowed to Hillary. Hey, Bernie, you vacationed in Moscow. Just get all the bullshit out of the way, right? All the fucking bullshit, man. It's all just bullshit. It's all such bull fucking shit, man, right? All this bullshit. How you gonna pay for it? Free stuff. Moscow. He honeymooned in Moscow. Come on, man. Get on the Bernie wagon, man. Get on the Bernie wagon, Trump. This is gonna be the site for people that are heartbroken over their Trump loss, right? So just to recap, Bernie Sanders, blind seer, probably right. Let's see. Will Bernie get behind another candidate? Yes. Warren needs to drop the F out and endorse Sanders. I agree with that. I don't think she will. I think she'll. I don't know. Again, when you have a runaway train, everything changes. See, Nevada changes everything. By Bernie Sanders winning by 26 points, when all the punditry had him only like maybe a 15% win, it's a slaughter. it blew them out, right? It's a blowout. That's a blowout victory. All right? Now, if that continues, if those blowout victories continue, you'll start to see Warren fold. Buttigieg may stay in all the way to the end. Biden may arrogantly stay in all the way to the end, but there's no money. The money dries up. When you're losing and you call up a billionaire and say, give me a couple of $1 million, I'm going to win this, they laugh at you. They hang up the phone on you. They don't even pick up the phone. Right? And they don't care that you're the former vice president. They don't care. Why? Because they're not giving money to you because they like you. They're giving money to you because you might become the president and they're going to get a favor. You see how that shit works? So anyway, so their money dries up and that their campaigns dry up. Pete Buttigieg, there's just if he can't win anywhere, billionaires are not going to give him any money because he's just a shit sandwich. So they dry up. Elizabeth Warren, same deal. So at some point, it would be in. I would like to see Tulsi Gabbard drop as well and start supporting Bernie Sanders. Lobby for that VP seat. So, what else? Bernie has 3 houses. Bernie has 3 houses. Let's talk about that. Bernie. Oh, let's make a song about that. That's a good one. Thank you, Bernie. Bernie has 3 houses. Troll. Hey, Bernie. Bernie has 3 houses. Bernie has 3 houses. Hey, Bernie has 3 houses. Hey, Bernie. Are you going to sell your 3 houses? Hey, Bernie. Are you going to sell your 3 houses? First of all, I wasn't feeling that one. But 3 houses. Bernie Sanders has 3 houses. Yes, he does. According to the record, Bernie Sanders lives in Vermont and he has a house. He was the mayor for many, many years and he bought himself a nice home for him and his lovely wife, who's going to be the first lady. And they live in Vermont. Right now, he takes a job as a congressman initially in Washington, D.C. He wins the election, becomes a congressman, and rather than pay rent, he buys himself something in Washington because he's going to be there for a while. And he has his 8 years of Congress and another 8 years of Senate, right? So he buys a property in Washington, so he doesn't have to live in a rental. Is that a bad deal? He's the United States senator. He can't have a property in a place where he's there most of the time. He's a hardworking guy. Right? He's there, so he's got 2 houses. Right? He's got 2 functional houses. He doesn't own a bunch of bullshit like Jeffrey Epstein. He's got bullshit properties all over the place as tax havens and property havens, financial havens where they just hoard land. And the third one, Bernie Sanders had a best-selling book. He's a best-selling author. Our Revolution in 2017 was a best-selling book, and he made $1 million or $2 million. And he bought himself, yes, a summer home in Connecticut. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Whoop-de-fucking-do. What should he do? Sell? Go down to his. All right. So there's that one. Right. He's got 3 houses. Bernie has 3 houses. Your taxes will go up so high you'll be eating humping rats for a few pennies. Terry B. Wrong. Taxes on the corporations are going to go up. Your taxation is likely to go down if these policies if we're able to install these policies of taxing the corporations back up to the proper tax bracket. Also, antitrust laws, to enforce antitrust laws and lock up a couple of the billionaires that are stealing in the form of tax evasion. I disagree that your taxes will go up, so stop. That's another Fox News talking point. I will pay more taxes if it reduces the overall money leaving my pocket. Well, that is, and dealing with insurance companies, that is possible, right? So even if you pay, 24%, I believe that the middle class or the people making less than $50,000 or $100,000 in taxes, your taxes are not going to go up. And with 60% of the country living in abject poverty, that's you, under $100,000, right? It's probably 70, 80% of the country is living like that. Your taxes are not going up. Get it through your head. It's not if we raise In the FDR era, FDR raised the corporate tax rate to 90%. Now, we're not talking about 90%. We're talking about 34%. Trump dropped it to 20% of money they don't pay anyway. What we want to do is we want to raise the taxes, the corporate tax rate back up to 34% and hold them to it and close the tax loopholes, close the tax havens on them, right? And that's where the money is. Why is that so hard to understand? 10,000 publicly traded companies, and none of them, they skim billions of dollars in taxes. Amazon, for example, the one company skimmed $35 billion in tax. What's so hard to understand that their taxes will go up and your taxes will either stay the same or go down, and you get universal single-payer health care, expunging student loans, college tuition at city and state universities, less war, more industry, more money circulating through the economy, a greater velocity of money hitting the real economy and real people, a boom in small business. I mean, it's just the most obvious thing in the world. You're sitting at that monopoly table, and all the money is in the hands of one player, and the other seven are starving. They got $1 and one house, and not even a house. They just down to $1. And they get to roll the dice and try to compete with the guy who has everything, and he can't win because the guy who has everything can just compete with you with crumbs. Right? That's where we're at right now. That's where capitalism led us from the 80s. It maxed out, and now, as in all politics, we need a correction. That's all it really is. Right? That's why we have a constitution. That's why we can amend the Constitution, because from time to time, policy needs to be corrected. And at this time in our history, we need to correct the abysmal path that we're on. All right, does that make sense? So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at a financial correction right now. We want to correct the we want to correct everything. We want to make everything perfect for everybody. Let me read some comments. Bernie, the rape fantasy poet. Yeah, so what? Big deal. That's not a, you're in college and you're horny and you talk about rape and fucking whatever else you talk about. Did he actually rape anybody? Come on, it's just talk. It's literature. Bernie hated the millionaire class until he became a millionaire. You don't see the hypocrisy. No, I do not see the hypocrisy because I don't see him. Bernie hated the millionaire class until he became a millionaire. Oh, you're talking about the term millionaire as opposed to billionaire. Oh, you got me there. Hey, what's up, Sterling Price? Good morning, Sterling. Good morning. Just reading some comments. Bunch of sock accounts up in this bitch. Yeah, I know. It's all good. There is a BS video going around saying Bernie will tax 52%. Yeah, I know, it's bullshit video. So Bernie's cleaning up the country. Yeah, Nathan, I agree. Marcus made it back home. I am home. I made it home, man. I'm back. It was fun. I had a good time. I'll have more to say with it as time goes on. Vegas was an interesting thing. Don't forget, Democrats love regulation. Small businesses lose against their agendas. You're just taking things out of context. That's the same context as saying that healthcare in this country will cost $80 trillion. It's just not true. Whatever it costs now, take that and cut it in half or a third, and that's what we'll pay because you're eliminating the insurance companies. I just told you. It's evidence is in the stock market. So coronavirus is not causing, in summation, coronavirus is not causing the crash in the markets. That crash is caused because Sanders is surging. Right, that's what's going on right now, man. So I'll come back later tonight, I hope. Hopefully come back later tonight. And take you out. I want to take you out, Bernie Bros. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about it. Let's look at the stock market crash. Yeah. It's going to crash.